Bitcoin had that big dump out yesterday, guys. This killed the bull flag. So remember, bull flags are right angles or 45 degrees. This was a right angle, and now it's not. So it's no longer a bull flag. It doesn't mean it can't start turning back up, but it increases the probabilities that you may come back to this area here, which again was this consolidation basis around 38,000. 38,000 is now your support level on the chart of Bitcoin. All right, now let's flip around to gold here. So gold, we talked about this, guys, right? So gold was a technical buy yesterday at these key levels. All right, you can see again, if we look here, and in fact, I'm going to flip over to my daily chart, but we basically look at gold, we can see this trend line right down here, sloping down, right? Sloping down right in. We are a little bit below it, but I think that's okay for the time being, and I'm going to show you why real quick. If we take a trend line here, and we just extend it right from this pivot high right across, you actually get your exact low from yesterday. All right, so again, gold early in the day was having a pop because the dollar was dropping. Once that CPI came out, the dollar began to rally. It brought gold back in, but you still have a small little positive flow. I continue to maintain that it's really important for gold to hold this key level around 1985, 1975 in that vicinity. All right, that's the key on gold. I do want to see it hold that level.
Hey, crypto enthusiasts, we've got a wild ride in the crypto sphere. Grab your helmets, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the latest crypto roller coaster. Guess who's shaking up the global finance scene? BRICS, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Led by Putin, they're not just challenging the big dogs, they're changing the game. Vladimir Putin ain't holding back. He's talking blockchain, ditching the US dollar, and launching a new payment system. It's not just tech, it's a power move against the greenback. The financial game's evolving, and BRICS is leading the charge. BRICS cooking up a fresh payment system, high-tech, super efficient, and ready to rival the US dollar. Say goodbye to old-school transactions. BRICS is bringing the future to finance. BRICS not just about tech, it's a master plan to make local currencies global players. The US dollar's throne is shaking. The BRICS Summit in 2024, that's where the big secrets of their game-changing payment system will be revealed. Senator Warren's not holding back. She's got a bill to crack down on crypto, money laundering, drug trafficking, and more. She's on a mission to tighten the reins on digital currencies. It's a crypto crackdown, folks. Warren's rallying the troops, and it's not just talk. She's got a coalition backing her crypto crackdown bill. It's like the Avengers assembling for financial justice. Warren's bill means business, stricter reporting, know your customer rules, and keeping an eye on those unhosted wallets. She's tightening the screws to bring crypto into line. The digital asset ecosystem's in for a shakeup. Warren's not just swinging her sword, she's sounding alarms. North Korea using crypto for nuclear funds. She's raising eyebrows and shaking the crypto battleground. The SEC's got a big decision next month, and Warren's not taking prisoners. Mark Yusko, the maestro behind Morgan Creek Capital, spilled some crypto beans on CNBC. He's like the Yoda of finance. According to him, Bitcoin's recent spike is partly the hype for the ETF approval set for January 2024, possibly on the king's birthday, January 8. But hold up. Yusko says this year's Bitcoin growth isn't just ETF drama, it's the market catching up from the FTX scandal. Fair value started from $32, $33K, and now dancing in the low $50Ks. Yusko's got his crystal ball out, pointing to Bitcoin's halving in April 2024. That's a crypto prom you don't want to miss. Embrace yourselves because crypto fall hits in June 2024, promising more crypto fireworks. Time for some crypto trivia. Bitcoin's halving is like a party every 4 years. Miners get fewer Bitcoins, making it rarer than a unicorn. This controls Bitcoin's supply, and with less to go around, demand shoots up. It's like a crypto glow-up. Yespa's not just about Bitcoin. He's conducting the whole crypto orchestra. Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, he calls them toolkits for developers, unlike Bitcoin, the rockstar digital gold. And he's dropping the beat with the TruthNet in 2024. Move over, Internet, it's blockchain's time to shine. Now let's continue our enlightening discussion with Gareth Soloway.
This morning, as we walk over here, we got the CPI data out. Now, the CPI data, Consumer Price Index, it basically gives the market a guide on where is inflation. And that's very key because tomorrow we have the Federal Reserve meeting and Jerome Powell's press conference. And so again, there's no anticipation. There's no chance of a hike in interest rates, but it's the guidance that they will give when to expect rate cuts that the market's going to be queuing off of. And to go off of that, they're going to be looking at this very data that we just got out. So let's start in here. So basically, we have core CPI month over month. Forecast was 0.3%. It came in alignment at 0.3%. So no change there. Market expectations right on course. The next one, CPI month over month. So this is with core included and everything else included. You had 0% expected, but it actually came in slightly higher than expected at 0.1%. Now, again, 0.1% is like, well, what's the big deal, right? 0.1%, is that a big deal? Well, when you're literally looking at tenths of a percent to determine when the Fed will start to cut rates in 2024, it actually is kind of a little bit important here. Again, interesting to note, CPI year over year. So remember, the first numbers are month over month. The next numbers are year over year. They expected 4% core CPI inflation. We got 4%. CPI year over year, 3.1%, and we got 3.1%. Now, I'd just like to point this out. All right, so again, the only number that was a little bit different than expectations was this one right here, which was a little bit hotter, like ever so slightly hotter than expected. And overall, this is generally not a bad report. Markets were trading very nicely higher into the number. In fact, when these numbers came out, the market actually popped. And I was watching this in my trading floor just a little while ago, and I'm like, man, you know, we had a hotter number here. Everything else was in alignment. Why are markets continuing to rally up? Well, then we started to see realization come in. And there's this crazy, I mean, right now you have this an inherent kind of hopium in the markets where it's just buy everything. And that, unfortunately, is what occurs at the end of runs before you get big corrections. Now, whether or not we get a big correction into year end, I don't know, right? I mean, it's the holidays soon and so on and so forth. But I would be very nervous the way the market is acting with no fear at all. The VIX in the 12s, these type of things, I look as a trader historically and I say, okay, if you look at the VIX and it was at the 12 level, generally, if you bought at the 12 on the VIX, you made money each and every time when fear finally came back, which it inevitably did. Okay, so in looking at that, guys, what I want to do next is I want to flip back to the charts and let's get into the charts. So as of yesterday was a very normal day, as if nothing was going on. People were sleeping through this day. The markets here, this is the 10-minute channel that I've talked about day in, day out, right? We had the one attempt here, never confirmed, and yesterday we floated neutral to higher, ending higher on the day. One of the things I just want to point out here, and I'm going to zoom in on this because I think this shows you what's going on, is that you get these kind of periods now where you get these interim computerized floats. And so what I want to show you here, this was 2 days ago. I should say this was Friday, right? So Friday, the markets initially had some chop early, right? This was early in the chop, and I apologize if you can't see it. So early in the chop, this was the first 30 minutes to 1 hour of trading on the 10-minute chart. We then saw the algos take over and the bots take over, and look at all these little candles, controlled upside. Now, again, this is algos trading back and forth. They're buying, they're selling, about at the same price, but then you throw in a few retail investors that are deploying capital, and it gives this gentle, slow float to the upside. No institutional big players are dealing in here. This is the middle of the day in December, getting close to the holidays, okay? Well, then we come into yesterday where we saw the same thing. Early in the day, a little bit of a chop, and then look at what happened again. Just this controlled upside move, lots of little green candles, until the end of the day, a little bit of chop, just like over here, a little bit of chop into the end of the day. Just something interesting to take note of. When the volume gets this light, there's this inherent positive, neutral to positive bias, and then the algos, again, are just keeping this market in alignment, letting it float up, letting it do its thing. I thought that was very interesting to kind of understand when you see this type of price action at these light volume environments and times during the year. All right, now, Couple other things to look at. In terms of technicals, the only things that matter to me here, guys, very simply put, is up here is resistance, right? We know that up here was resistance, here was resistance, here was resistance, and so on and so forth. So if the S&P rallies up to this area, that would be an expected level to see a pullback on. If we see a rollover, this is going to be support. It was support here, it was support here, here, broke here briefly, but again, no confirmation. Again, confirmation has to occur the next day with follow-through. Follow-through is very important because in this situation, think of how many people got whipped out thinking, oh, this is a breakdown, and then they saved it the next day. It never confirmed. If you follow the confirmation signal, you'll know that that's not a true breakdown yet. You need to see follow-through the next day. We never got it. They brought it right back in. But look at all these hits of this trend line, just going all the way back. And again, therefore, this is the level we're watching on the downside. This is the level we're watching on the upside. Very simple, guys. Keep the chart simple. There's not a lot. You need a few trend lines, a little bit of analysis. That's all you need to do what I do.
That wraps up today's crypto news highlights. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and analysis from the world of cryptocurrencies. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.